I rise in support of the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, known as the SAVE Act, introduced by my colleague Chip Roy of Texas. As chairman of the Committee on House Administration, I've been focused on improving election integrity and increasing confidence in our elections. Let me be clear. Non-citizen voting reduces confidence in our elections. American elections are for American citizens, and we intend to keep it that way. The SAVE Act will strengthen our elections administration and restore Americans' confidence in our elections. The SAVE Act contains critical reforms to update the National Voter Registration Act, which currently requires states to give registration forms to everyone who receives a driver's license regardless of citizenship. The bill before us would help states prevent non-citizens from voting in federal elections by requiring states to obtain documentary proof of U.S. citizenship in person when registering an individual to vote in federal elections. You're sure to hear from my colleagues on the other side that non-citizen voting doesn't exist or that rarely happens or that we don't need to do anything about it. Couldn't be further from the truth. However, let's look back 2 months ago. The secretaries of state that I had conversations with shared with me their difficulties that they're experiencing administering the most recent election. 2 of their top concerns were about integrity of voter rolls and non-citizen voting. In our most recent elections, we've just saw 13 individuals referred by the Michigan Secretary of State to the Attorney General for non-citizen voting in the state of Michigan. In the House of Representatives, we often see close elections. We have one member here who won her election by simply 6 votes. It's clear we must pass the SAVE Act and prevent non-citizen voting. There's also been many other examples of non-citizens voting or being on states' voter rolls. Just a few years ago, Illinois removed almost 600 non-citizens from its voter rolls. In Pennsylvania, almost 10,000 non-citizens were removed from their voter rolls. In Georgia, an audit recently determined more than 1,600 non-citizens had attempted to register to vote. Every state also needs access to the tools necessary to remove non-citizens from their voter rolls. Right now, states don't have free access to the federal data that tracks citizenship status. Another crucial element of the SAVE Act will provide states with cost-free access to existing federal and state databases so they can perform this important voter list maintenance. In recent years, we've seen an increasing number of jurisdictions across the country allowing non-citizens to vote in municipal elections. Right here in our nation's capital, non-citizens are eligible to vote in those municipal elections. And in Washington, D.C., a non-citizen only has to reside in the district for 30 days in order to register to vote. 388 non-citizens cast ballots here in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. in the most recent election. By passing the SAVE Act, we can ensure that only eligible Americans are registering to vote. Additionally, the SAVE Act is aligned with President Trump's recent executive order, preserving and protecting the integrity of American elections, which will help restore trust in American elections, enhance election administration, and make our elections secure. This legislation is just one step that we can take to ensure President Trump's executive order could not be undone. Americans deserve to have confidence in our elections. We must pass the SAVE Act to prevent non-citizen voting and secure our elections.